Live from Sin City, it's the Sox and Pinstripes Podcast. And now, here's the star of the show, Diet Dr. Griffin!
This is Diet Dr. Griffin back with another episode of the Sox Pinstripes Podcast. Like, rate, and subscribe. Shane's with us today. How are we doing, Shane?
I am doing so good. It is playoff baseball, and I am enjoying every second of it. How are you, Griffin?
I'm doing well. The Yankees win. The Yankees.
I don't even mind because it was such a great game. So,
Well, Sterling, he's only going to be around for like another few games, so he's gonna retire again after this.
Yeah.
I think so. I think, yeah. So the Yankees waded to the World Series, their first World Series appearance since 2009. Mutual friend of the show, Taylor, is elated and is probably trying to figure out travel arrangements now to go to the World Series wherever it ends up being. So let's get to this ALCS series because it was a doozy of a series and some awesome baseball left and right. Close games that went to extra innings, a lot of good activity. Even though it was a 5-game series, it was a lot closer than that.
Yeah, it felt like after the first game, the first 2 games were kind of like whatever, but then the last 3 were, or the last 3 were just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and Giancarlo Stanton, man, I have railed on him over the years. I have affectionately called him the whiffer because of how he strikes out. And if you watch, like, he's got this awesomely closed batting stance. It's one of those things that's so fun. But when he like strikes out on a pitch, he just looks terrible doing it.
He is not striking out right now.
He is proving to be one of the elite postseason home run hitters.
Yeah, him and Kike Hernandez just out of nowhere from the ashes.
Hernandez, I remember, did this back in 2021 when he was with the Red Sox and they made the playoffs that year. He was going ballistic back then, just hitting bombs and everything too. Stan's just a little more surprising because he's just been so hit or miss during the regular season, but now he's like locked in and 100% focused on winning a ring, which is obviously his primary goal anyway, the way that he talks. It's like, we haven't done nothing yet. We got to win a ring.
Yeah, man. He's walking the walk right now. Man, when Judge the previous game 4, Judge hits the home run to tie it, and then he hits the home run, the go-ahead home run, back to back. I was just like, oh man, this game might be over. And then that went into extras, and then the Guardians took that game.
And Stanton hit the home run last night to tie the game at 2.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't. The Juan Soto, man, didn't see a fastball the whole entire at bat, and then somehow gets the bat to the ball up and away and hits it out for a 3-run home run. I was just like, wow, that is something. That guy's a special player. So
now, as crazy as it was, there were a lot of miscues by both teams in the series. There were a lot of defensive gaffes.
Yeah.
Left and right. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a big defensive gap like right before Soto hit the home run.
Yeah,
should have been an inning ending, at least the innings ending double play at the very, and maybe just at least 1 out, and you run into a 2-run home run instead of a 3-run home run.
Exactly, or Juan Soto doesn't even get up to the plate, right? So
that too. And at the beginning of the game, what is it with Yankees third base coaches? They just have this terrible habit of sending guys to the plate. Because the very, very first at bat for the game for Soto, Torres gets a hit, gets on base. Soto hits a double, and the third base guy waves around Torres, and he gets gunned down at the plate.
Yeah. Who was the outfielder who threw that too? Was it Stephen
Uh,
Kwan or was it someone
think
else?
I think it was Quan, but don't hold me to.
Yeah. Yeah, so Stephen Kwan, one of the best arms in left field, and you're sending Gleyber
No,
Torres,
I don't
not the
think. No,
fastest runner.
actually, I don't think it was in left field. I thought it was in right field. Maybe it was Noel.
Okay. Yeah, it was okay. Well, I don't know. Noel's a
Or the
rookie,
center
so
fielder. I don't know the
yeah,
Guardians lineup all that well.
yeah,
My
okay.
apologies.
Oh yeah, no worries. But anyways, the point being is Glaber is not the fastest person, and all those guys in the outfield are all plus arms. I think the only person who's not a plus arm is Juan Soto, but he's hitting home runs for the win, so who cares?
Yeah, but I mean, in that situation, you would have had, two runners on base with Aaron Judge coming up and nobody out.
Yeah, one would assume that you would just wait, but
Yeah, yeah. And it nearly cost them because I kind of knew as soon as that happened that Bybee, who mind you was pitching on 3 days rest, like
yeah.
he would get out of it and then he would be actually pretty effective too for the
Oh
rest.
yeah,
Uh,
he locked it down for the rest of the time he was in there. So
and honestly, I thought Rodon pitched pretty well too, even though he still gave up 2 runs in less than 5 innings. I thought
yeah,
he was pretty effective. It was just that he kind of got some bloop hits and then Josh Naylor, who, by Joe, I had not seen what Josh Naylor looked like before this series. He is literally Chris Farley running the bases.
yeah, it's
I did
pretty
not
great.
realize he was that overweight. Why?
Oh yeah, man, he's
No, he's
big. He's a
like,
big boy.
yeah, he's like Daniel Vogelbach big.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like he got bigger as the season went. At the beginning of the season, he looked like pretty. Like he's always been kind of a bigger guy, but he
Yeah,
looked pretty fit at the beginning of the season, and now it's just, it's
must have
just
gone
like,
on the
what is going on, bro?
must have gone on a cheeseburger diet or something, man. I don't know. He needs to lose some weight. I'm sorry. He's bigger than Big Poppy was.
Yeah, yeah. No, and going back, it looked like both infields for both teams just seemed like they're playing nervous. Like no one wanted to be the reason a mistake happened and runs were scored, and so there was a lot of like fumbling and like kind of trying to put it in the glove and like make sure it would go in there, and they'd kind of like bounce weird, but then they'd still get the out like just barely.
There was a lot of bad base running in this series too. A lot of guys just getting picked off on the bases.
Yeah.
Yeah, this happened. Rizzo got picked off. A couple, just sloppy stuff that shouldn't be happening at this level of the game.
Well, and then they got away with one in game 4 when Ramirez botched the rundown. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And he tried to, like, I love that he immediately tried to call for interference. And it's like, bro, you snow cone the ball and he just ran into you. Like,
Yeah.
as much as I don't want him to be safe, I mean, you have to admit that's kind of your bad.
This isn't A-Rod, slapping the ball out of Bronson Arroyo's glove in 2004. Did you ever see that
Yeah.
clip?
Yeah, I've seen that clip. That one's
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. You're good, Jose, but you're not that good, okay? So now we've got to circle back to the other series, the Dodgers and the Mets, who the Mets were left for dead at game 5. Somebody online announced the death of Grimace, and it was premature because the Mets smoked Jack Flaherty, and Flaherty gave up 8 earned runs in 3 innings, and the Mets survived game 5. So they're down 3-2 going back to LA, where they are playing an elimination game tonight.
Yeah, that series has been kind of. I wanted it to be closer games, but it just seems like one day someone blows someone out, and the next day the next person blows them out, and then the next day someone blows them out, and the next day the other person blows them out. I want to see, like, can we tell the Dodgers and the Mets just keep it close and interesting, man? Like,
Well, maybe not tonight because you want Because you want the Dodgers to win tonight, and I want the Dodgers to win tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I'm already 1 for 1, so I guess I do have to go all in on the Dodgers taking it. So
Yeah, and according to ESPN.com, it's going to be Sean Manaea tonight of the Mets versus undecided for the Dodgers. They have not even announced
perfect.
a starter tonight.
Well, last time I mean, their bullpen is the strongest part of their pitching staff. So I guess, a bullpen day for the Dodgers is probably their best chance to get the win.
Man, I don't even think they care about winning the game if they're going to throw a bullpen out there.
Yeah, well, who are they rolling out there? I mean, I thought Flaherty was like their best guy. Who are they rolling out there?
Flaherty went game 5, so you
Yeah,
obviously throw him out tonight.
yeah. Maybe they
But
put Yamamoto out there again just to see if he can make it through
didn't
some innings.
Yamamoto pitch game 4 though?
Oh yeah, that's right. He did pitch game
If you
4.
get game 4, there's no way you can throw him out there tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Who do they have
even
left?
MLB.com doesn't have a starter for the Dodgers. That's wonderful.
That's how Dave Roberts has a starter for the Dodgers.
He's just trying to be sneaky chicanery.
Yeah.
Get out of
Hey
here with
man, I
that.
mean he's starting to look pretty good now, so
Just post the guy who's gonna start for Pete's sake.
yeah. Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Didn't they win? They won their bullpen day that they pitched the first time they did it though. Well, was that like game 3 or
I
whatever?
think it was game 4, I
Well,
believe, against the Padres. They went bullpen game against Cease and somehow managed to shut them out 9 innings. I don't see that happening again.
yeah, no, that's for
You have
sure.
to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, well, they've been kind of perfect, so
Well, I mean, they were for a little while when they went like 30, what was it, 32 innings or so without giving up a run.
yeah,
You,
they had a perfect game for 27 innings going. So
yeah.
pretty crazy. Also, the Mets have walked, what is it, like a record number of batters in the NLCS. It's like 30 something. It's crazy.
I mean, that's hard. It's hard to pitch to that Dodgers lineup because they don't have a lot of holes in there. You've got guys you're constantly trying to hit around, pitch around,
Yeah. And
and
it's also
oh,
hard to win games when you're walking 30 people in 5 games.
one of the
So,
reasons why I was skeptical about the Mets.
yeah. I'll see if Shamanaya is on or not because when he can't locate that fastball, it's gonna be another walkie loo kind of day.
I don't know,
So,
man. People are like treating Sean Manaea like he's some kind of an ace, and he's been pitching better this year than he has in the past. But
yeah.
he's still a career 4 ERA, 1.2 WHIP guy.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is his 1.2 whip always comes back to bite him. And I think last time he pitched, he walked at least 3 people that I remember. So gonna have to keep that down today if he wants to win the game. So
Yeah, good luck with that, man. I mean, what do you think about Otani hitting leadoff?
I don't know. I mean,
'Cause
it does put the pressure on right away, but it doesn't seem to be helping Otani any.
What's
Uh,
weird is like the stats are like he's 0 and 15 or something like that with, by himself, but when he's got runners on base, he gets all the hits.
Yeah, so dropping him down to like third or fourth, even, or maybe even fifth, would probably be
You
ideal.
you can't drop a bat like Otani though that far down.
Yeah.
I mean I could argue maybe flip flop him or Mookie maybe.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't Mookie batting leadoff
You
too
know, I think
for part of the
Mookie did.
season?
Yeah, I believe he did hit leadoff for a while, and I think when
Yeah.
Mookie got hurt, Shohei got put in the leadoff, and then that's when.
Yeah. Because Shohei was always number 2, just like Mike Trout. So, and that's generally where you put your best hitter. So in the
Yeah,
lineup.
and Mookie hit leadoff for years with
Yeah.
the Red Sox, and I believe he hit leadoff with the Dodgers too prior to Otani's arrival this year. He makes sense being a leadoff guy.
Yeah. He's and well, and especially when you look at Otani's numbers. When no one's on base, he's terrible, and when there's people
Hmm.
on base, he's good. So at least just let Mookie get on base so that you can almost guarantee to get him home. What was he like 5 for 9 or 5 for 8 or something crazy like that? Like over 300. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's over 500. It's 5 for 8.
yeah. So I mean, he's been pretty automatic as long as there's someone in front of him. So
Yeah, we shall see. Are you gonna stick with your initial prediction that the Dodgers are gonna win tonight, even with a bullpen game?
yeah, I mean, I can't change now since I got the Yankees in 5. So come on, Dodgers, 6 games, let's go.
I got a feeling the bullpen game's gonna backfire on the Dodgers tonight. I don't think it's gonna
Yeah,
go as well.
I just want it to be an exciting game. Do I want the Dodgers to win to make me 100% in my predictions? Sure. But if they lose and it's like a super close game that goes into extras, I'm not going to be mad about that. So,
And speaking of extras, man, I keep forgetting there's no Ghost Runner in the playoffs. I keep
oh, yeah.
wondering, where's the Ghost Runner? And like, yep, not there, not there.
Yeah. Why isn't there a guy standing at second base right? Oh, right. You have to earn your way on in the playoffs.
Yeah. I
I
remember,
kind of like it. I like it. I don't know. What are your opinions on it?
I hate the Ghost Runner from in the regular season, but I almost like it in the playoffs. It's kind of a weird thing. I mean, I would be okay if the Ghost Runner was on first.
Okay.
Quite frankly, I
Gotcha.
think first on second it just makes it too easy for them to score, and it's just too easy. But I also remember, you're talking to a guy who was at an 18 inning ball game between the Dodgers and the Red Sox in the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
And it eventually you just get tired of watching the game after a while. And
Yeah.
mind you, you can't buy drinks and soda. You can't buy sodas or coffee or
Yeah.
snacks of any kind because they shut that stuff down by like the ninth
Yeah.
inning. So you're going
Yeah.
like another 2 to 3 hours without any snacks and food and caffeine. It's like that game was I stayed that for that game for over 5 hours and there was still another hour to go. I left.
Oh man, that's like the Mariners Astros playoff game. Also went 18 innings, and I went to a restaurant to like a sports bar with a friend of mine to watch it. And after inning number 12, people started like thinning out. And then inning 15, it's just kind of like me and him just like wanting the game to be over. And we've put in so much work into it. We're like, well, I can't leave now. And then by the time it ended, they were setting up for dinner service, and we started at the height of lunch.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago there was a Cleveland Guardians Tampa Bay Rays game that went to like 15 innings because neither of them could hit. They were just both two terribly offensive teams, and none of them could just score a run when it counts.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's
So
always
I
frustrating.
do. So I think you bring the Ghost Runner in the playoffs and you just put him on first base. And if you can put a double play, and kudos to you. But
Okay.
I think you got to put some pressure on things just to get the ball game moving along a little bit here.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I would have not expected that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I know that's total blasphemy there.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but now that you said it, so.
No, let me be the doctor of controversial opinions. So also this week, Jerry Reinsdorf of the lowly Chicago White Sox announced that he's exploring options to sell the team. And interestingly enough, he mentioned a group led by former Major League Baseball pitcher Dave Stewart, who is one of the most intimidating guys you could see out there.
Hmm.
And what's interesting about this deal, of course, is Reinsdorf is 88 years old, longtime owner of both the Chicago Bulls and the White Sox. He's
Yeah.
old enough to where you could start wanting to sell the team for succession reasons, but at the same time, it's like the Dave Stewart's group is trying to lead the charge in Nashville to get a team there.
Oh, interesting. So you think,
And you've got the White Sox, trying to get a new stadium too.
oh,
So it
so you
almost
think,
makes you wonder if he's trying to play a little sneaky sneak. Hey, Chicago, we're gonna leave you if you don't, pony up some extra money.
yeah, South Side.
'Cause right now, the Bears are also trying to get a new stadium too.
Oh, they're gonna replace Soldier Field?
Soldier Field is ancient, dude.
I know it's ancient, but that's like replacing Fenway Park.
Yeah, I mean Soldier Field's kind of a dump, though. I mean,
I
I've
mean,
walked
you
I've
could just
walked over to
restore it.
there. It's
Yeah.
really it's downtown, but it's like really hard to get in and out of for games.
Uh, gotcha.
I haven't even been to a game there, but I've walked over there, and it's a pain to get around, and there's all
Gotcha.
like parks and stuff nearby. You got to understand all of these stadium deals and things, they are not about the stadium. They're about all of the infrastructure around the stadium, about like the hotels and the entertainment, and the restaurants and all that stuff. It's like they're trying to build like a downtown scene
Yeah.
built around the
Gotcha.
stadium.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Like Steve Cohen Steve Cohen of the Mets is trying to get a new stadium off the ground, and to replace City Field. And
Yeah.
the big thing that he's trying to deal with there is like they got all these chop shops down there, and he wants to
Mm.
build a casino there.
Yeah, that's right. You were telling me about this.
Yeah, and the thing is that like City Field is not even that old to my knowledge. Let me do a
Yeah, it doesn't
Google.
seem old anyway. So,
I believe City Field was built within the last 20 years. I think it like opened in 2006 or 2007. Oh, even later. It opened in 2009.
oh wow, geez.
Cohen
Yeah.
is already
15
trying to
years.
get a new stadium built.
Well, if he goes to the World Series, that will help at least. So,
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how much it'll help the city of New York. If anything,
yeah.
if they make the World Series and fail or something, it'll just increase the Juan Soto bidding race.
Oh yeah, dude, that guy's price tag is going to be astronomical this next year.
Yeah, I think 15 years, 600 might end up being the floor.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I mean, I know New York's going to try to make a run at him, but I think you got to keep him and Judge together, man. They just
I think
drive
you
that
do as
team.
I think you do as well. You have to
Yeah,
keep together, but the problem is that the Yankees have so many areas they're going to have to address next year.
yeah, that's true.
And now Luke Weaver has pretty much come on as their de facto closer.
Yeah, that guy, he looks good too. He has a super, baby face, but I guess he's 31 years old and like reinvented himself and everything. So,
Yeah, he's kind of been a bit of a journeyman pitcher. He's been around so long that like some of the other fantasy baseball podcasts I listen to have
yeah.
this old thing where if they made Luke Weaver the closer, they could sing the song Dream Weaver and change the words to "I believe you can get me through the ninth." Just dating ourselves here with an old 80s tune,
Oh man,
but it
I
works
sincerely hope
perfectly.
they do that. So,
Works perfectly. Like he needs to come out to Dreamweaver when
yeah,
during the World Series. Like that just it needs to be
yeah.
the thing.
Luke, if you're listening, please, just for the fans. So.
Hey,
Interestingly enough, oh, what's up?
it makes more sense than thank God I'm a country boy being played at Baltimore Orioles games.
Yeah,
At
that's
least there's
true.
logic to that.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. And with all this White Sox being sold, Mariners fans are now trying to pressure John Stanton into selling the team too. But I don't think that's going to happen. But It's funny now that they got cell fever. So
Well, according to Spotrac, Luke Weaver has a $2.5 million club option for next year, which I am positive that the Yankees are probably going to take at this point, given how effective he's been. And the
yeah,
fact that
you got
Holmes
it.
is a free agent, too.
Oh, he's a free agent too. Jeez.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was worried about the Yankees trying to find a closer in the offseason, and they might already have theirs in place now, the way Weaver's pitched.
Yeah, I mean, he looks pretty lights out. So, I mean, I think if you're the Yankees, you just solidify that as well. Since you tried, who did they have? Oh, Holmes.
Yeah, Holmes.
Holmes, Holmes win or maybe not. Clay, give up a couple runs, blow a save, no big deal.
Yeah, only lead all of baseball in blown saves.
Yeah, so I'm thinking the Yankees are probably going to try to hold on to Luke Weaver there.
Yeah. And the other interesting note that we kind of touched on this a little bit last week, but it was made official this week that the Rays are not going to be able to play at Tropicana Field, at least to start the season. They're not going to get any repairs done on Tropicana Field. And it begs the question if they should even bother with it at all.
Yeah, yeah, because apparently I was reading about it and they said that the construction on their new ballpark is supposed to start next year.
Yeah.
So they might as well just be, why spend money on the old one and find a place, to stay for the next 3 years?
And it's going to cost like nine figures to do the repairs.
Yeah,
Almost
so
$100 million to repair that dump of a stadium down there. I don't think you'd do it.
yeah, and I know it's gonna suck because there's not really a good option to play near there.
Well,
In order,
from what I've heard, they may consider just playing at one of the spring training fields down there.
yeah, but
They
the
have
only
a
problem with that is there's only like 7,500 seat capacity, which is, I guess, the Rays are consistently drawing like 15,000 people. So
Well, I mean, there's a number of spring training sites, stadiums that they can probably choose that maybe they can find a larger one that has maybe closer to 10,000. But it's not
yeah,
9
so
by any stretch, but I don't see them in a situation where they're going to be sharing a stadium with Miami or anything like that.
yeah, but ironically, the closest stadium to them with 11,000 feet, with 11,000 seats and 13 skyboxes is Steinbrenner Field. So
I've heard Steinbrenner Field, and that would be pretty funny if they ended up playing.
even at their home games, there's going to be Yankees stuff just all over the place.
It would be interesting if during the playoffs they did get to play down in Miami because they would just
Yeah,
put more people in the stadium. If the Rays, make it back, I don't know if they're going to or not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the big question. So we'll
Way
see.
too early to tell based on how their team is going.
Yeah,
And that's pretty much all we got for this week's show. A little lighter on the content than usual, but we got some diving into the playoff stuff here. We both think it's going to be a Dodgers Yankees World Series, but we can't really talk about that until, the other dance partner makes it to the party.
yes, absolutely.
And then the World Series is going to start on Friday.
Oh,
So
geez. Yeah.
it'll start before we've had a chance to do it. So we both think Dodgers, Yankees. Uh, do you think that the Yankees would be better favorites or underdogs, or what do you think?
Man, that's a good question. I think the Yankees are the better team, and I think the Yankees are going to win the World Series this year. As much as that pains me to say, but I don't. The problem is like how much do you weigh the Dodger offense and the fact that they have no pitching against like a more complete team? Like, is the complete team the underdog just because the other team has Otani? Like I kind of think that the Yankees are going to be the underdog, but I don't think that that's an accurate depiction. I think the Yankees should be the favorite, but I don't think the odds makers are going to say that. So for all you betting out there, take the Yankees.
Yeah, I do think the Yankees should be favorites. What's interesting, and I've got to look this up here, is that would the Dodgers have home field advantage in the World Series? And I think they would because the Dodgers won 98 games, the Yankees won 94. So
Yeah,
there's one area that you would give the edge to the Dodgers in is that they do have home
long
field
win. Yeah.
if they make it. But the Yankees would have home field if the Mets somehow turn this thing around and Grimace just forces the Mets to win.
Well, yeah, seriously. And honestly, it might happen the way these games have been going. So,
But we all know MLB is going to do everything they can to make sure Ohtani makes it to the World Series. I mean, they
yeah, look for a generous strike zone for LA and a small one for the Mets. So,
yeah, they want Ohtani in the World Series like it's nobody's business. And honestly, this is probably this Dodgers Yankees potential matchup is probably the dream matchup they could have
oh
asked.
yeah, this is the blockbuster that all the ads and sports betting and everyone wants to. Everyone commercially involved wants it to be the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think we both think that the Yankees are the better team. But
Oh yeah,
reserve
100%.
judgment until it's official, which won't be
Yes.
for possibly another few hours or another day, depending on how tonight's game.
Yeah, exactly. And it'd be nice, Dodgers, if you could win today, because I get to watch the game today and I have to work tomorrow. So
Yeah. Do you have any closing remarks?
yeah, I just found out that every baseball in MLB is covered in mud from a secret location in New Jersey. And this mud is called Lena Blackburn baseball rubbing mud. And it helps the pitchers grip the balls.
Yeah, I mean, I know they they'll put them through machines even once they get to the ballpark and like kind of get the balls into more a grippier status, but
Yeah.
I just don't
Lena Blackburn baseball rubbing mud.
need to be a little more rubbing on there or something to get the grips on these things to improve. But
Yeah.
that's
Bring back Spider Tack.
yes. Garrett Cole, where's my spider tack?
Yes. Where's my Spider Tack?
All right, well, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one, guys.
Bye now.